why don't you just go ahead and update us a little bit on what's going on with short sales today and everything, because they are still out there.
Absolutely, yeah. And one thing I wanted to kind of mention was that the mortgage forgiveness was extended up until January 1st of 2017. So, that was the big news that I'm surprised that hasn't really got a whole lot of media attention, but, it was extended. So if it was an owner-occupied property, they lived in the home for the last 2 of the 5 years, then they're eligible for that, a tax break, so they don't have to pay the taxes on that debt that was forgiven. So that's real big news that, a lot of homeowners can benefit from. So if they're on the fence about doing a short sale because of that, they have basically, I think it's going to be their last year that they extend it. So whenever we're negotiating, we always try to negotiate some sort of a relocation incentive for these people, because a lot of times they're just don't have the money for deposits or, living expenses for their new place or even moving expenses. So we try to get as much as possible for them, so anywhere in the neighborhood of $3,000 to $10,000 that they'll get at closing, and that'll, help them get a head start on their, future there. So.
Yeah, and the amount of that actually is dependent on who the investor is, correct?
Correct.
And a short sale is when you bought a piece of property and now the market has shifted significantly and you're underwater and you don't have the funds to necessarily bring to the table. So it can many times be $100,000 or more that people are upside down. And so a lot of people aren't sitting with that kind of money in the bank account. So is foreclosure your best option, or is short sale your best option? And in my opinion, short sale is definitely your best option, because the lenders look at it 2 different ways. The lenders actually handle it from being able to purchase a new house in the future, that you're in a better situation when you've gone through a short sale versus a foreclosure. The other thing is that when you go through a short sale, like you were mentioning, throughout 2016, you're still going to be able to get that debt forgiven and not have a tax consequence. And you're not going to have, if it's a foreclosure, you're always going to have that opportunity that somebody might come after you for the deficiency. But if it's negotiated correctly, then that deficiency doesn't exist. What happens is the banks aren't going after it, the ones that lost the money, but they're selling those notes for pennies on the dollar, and then the debt collectors are the ones who are coming after you. So they might settle for something less because they don't have as much into it, but they're definitely going to be going after you for that deficiency.
Yeah, and I see a lot of law firms picking up those debts and going after those folks too. So it's a racket out there for that type of.
There's opportunity. So there's always going to be businesses that are going to try to take advantage of that opportunity.